Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pylon, an NFC North podcast, and this is our first recap episode. We're recording this 10:30 at night. Sunday Night Football is wrapped up, but our crew is gathered here to get instant reactions from today's games around the NFC North, of course. So we'll start with, Big Z, representing the Detroit Lions. We'll have more to say about them later. But then we got Kinger with the Packers.
Representing the 1-0 Green Bay Packers. Go, Pack, go.
Yeah, and then we got Remy with the Vikings.
There's still hopes. Go to the bowl.
And I don't know if it's best for last, but, he's last. But 1-0 Bears. Barney.
Man, you didn't really seem too excited to say that right there. But bear down, everyone. It feels good to be part of the 1-0 club.
Oh, boy. All right. So we're going to break down each of these games here. Packers winning 43-34 over Minnesota. A shootout, a pretty one-sided shootout for the most part. And then the Bears winning 27-23 in Detroit. So both teams on the road. Granted, no fans in the stands at either road game. So unique circumstances, but those are the results of today. So Bears and Packers tied for first. Lions and Vikings tied for last at 0-1. Let's get into the Green Bay Minnesota game first. 43-34. I wasn't focusing solely on this game. Obviously, watching the Lions. So, Kinger, since you guys won, maybe you could break us down, just giving us a recap of this game and how it was going. Because it looked pretty one-sided looking at the scoreboard all day.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay showed up to Minneapolis today and played the Minnesota Vikings and did exactly what I thought they were going to do heading into the week, right? I mean, when we had the episode last week, we talked about all these different variables, the big one being no Danielle Hunter, secondary, specifically cornerbacks that were untested, and Green Bay came in year two, Aaron Rodgers in Matt LaFleur's system, and the offense was clicking early. Rodgers torched them, Devontae torched them, the offensive line, which there's going to be some questions going around with the injuries with that, but I mean, overall, they held up really solid, gave Rodgers the time he needed, and he just picked them apart. I said earlier that I expected Green Bay to win the game, and they did.
So, Remy, how do you was this all on the rookie cornerbacks today? Was it safety? Was it coaching? What's the deal? Devontae Adams, 14 catches, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Seems like a pretty crazy good stat line out of him.
Let's be real. When you go up against 23-year-old cornerbacks who are younger, also with an average age of like 21, you're going to torch them up, whether you're Aaron Rodgers or whether you are Joe Burrow. The corner is one specific place that definitely hurt the Vikings today. Started off, ground game nice, Dalvin Cook touchdown, and we kept jumping off side. I mean, you lose Everson Griffin, who's notorious for jumping off sides on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. And it happened twice today on Ifeadi Adetobo and big-time plays where we could have gotten the ball and scored to keep it within, one possession game. But yeah, also the debut of Yannick Njoku, he had 0 tackles today. So a huge concern for the pass rush and the corners. You don't have good pass rush, you don't have good corners, you're going to get burned. The safeties can only help you so much. But, I mean, what they didn't do is let Aaron off the field. Time of possession was heavily favored in Green Bay. They let Aaron roll out of the pocket, and when Aaron gets out of the pocket, he can make anything happen.
Yeah, time of possession, Remy, 41 minutes, 16 seconds for Green Bay, 18 minutes, 44 seconds for Minnesota. Holy cow.
And I will say this, too. Viking fans, do not put your head down. Do not get disconcerted, because the same thing happened to us in 2015 when we played the Niners with AP and Teddy. First time they'd ever played together. We were going to that game hyped and got demolished. That year we won the league, or we won the North. So don't hold your head, Viking fans. This one stings, but you just gotta get back and get focused. The corners are showing that this is a man's game. You can't get burned. Do your job, and otherwise, Mike Zimmer's gonna have to go down to that 7-Eleven in Bloomington and find himself press cover corner.
So, Kinger, who else stood out to you besides Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, the two obvious stars of this game?
Oh, they have three great running backs in that backfield. It's if you're not trying to stop Aaron Jones, you're trying to stop Williams, and then they got the big bulldozer that they got in the second round. Green Bay has a great run game, so now you have to worry about that. And then they got Aaron Rodgers. No need for Devin Funchess.
Get a lot of respect over there, Kinger.
Yeah, just to comment on that, though, really, I was pretty impressed with the variety of run plays that the Packers showcased today, right? Very quietly, they ran for 158 yards. I really liked Tyler Ervin. They were running some jet sweeps with him, throwing him in motion a lot.
What's the deal with all those jet? You guys are like the modern day, like this playbook. I was like, this is like the Rams or something. You guys are running all this stuff, and I don't like it.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what Matt LaFleur has been trying to develop, right? All his days, everybody's, when he got the job in Green Bay, immediately comparing him to Sean McVay out in LA because their time together in Washington, right? He's tried to redevelop this entire offense, and that's why year 2 in the system with Rodgers. He looked great today. He was hyped up, heading into the season. But it's fun to watch, and I hope that they continue to develop and continue to improve as the season goes on. Because even as good as they were today, they still left some plays out on the field, right? And nobody wants to brag about a win, but we had a couple key drops, a couple things that just could have been done a little bit better that we need to clean up as the season progresses.
So how about the defensive side of the ball? Is there anybody that stood out on either side? There's 77 points in this game. Christian Kirksey, I'm just reading off the 12 tackles for him today. Is that what you were expecting to see out of him?
Yeah, definitely. Christian came in and played very well, right? He's definitely, you kind of feel that he is that kind of missing piece, that, big physical athletic specimen that, Green Bay has been missing in the middle for quite some time now, right? Led the team in tackles. That's exactly what you were looking for him to do. Get in there, get his nose in the mix, and he did that well today. But low key, there were a lot of points scored, but Jair Alexander had a great day today. He had a sack, a safety, and an interception, all really good plays. I saw some stat earlier. He's, in a rare category of people to do that as of recent times. So I thought he looked really good. The secondary, they got a little lax a few times. Darnell Savage, our rookie safety, played overall pretty well, I think, but made a few errors. But, overall the defense I thought looked really good. Zadarius Smith was pretty quiet. He had a sack, but other than that, not a lot from him after that big game last year. But again, I thought Green Bay looked great. I'm very, very excited after week 1, that's for sure.
And I will chime in. I'm very disappointed at the lack of use that Minnesota had with Justin Jefferson. He only had 2 targets the whole game, 26 yards. But it's like, if you're gonna draft this guy to quote unquote be the next Diggs, he has to get involved. And I'm disappointed that they did not use Jefferson more. I think he's got potential to make big plays.
Yeah, and how was Kirk Cousins out there today? We haven't mentioned him yet, Remy. I see 19 of 25, 259. That's not, and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. So it's not a terrible stat line.
No, not terrible. The 1 pick, it was good man coverage. I won't take that away from Green Bay, but he's not costing us games. And Adam Thielen picking up right where he left off, being hurt half the season last year, if not with his quad or his hamstring, sorry. But he had himself a day. I know a lot of the receivers on the Packers had themselves a day, but just great takeaways from this Viking offense. Dalvin Cook still had 2 touchdowns. Thielen had 2 touchdowns. And then just on defensive side, Eric Kendricks led the way with 7 tackles, but that's about it.
Yeah, and Jair Alexander looked like he had a good day, Kinger. One pick and a sack and a few tackles to go along with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He really did have a good thing. And I mean, honestly, the last thing I really wanted to mention that I think really stood out to me today, the big question heading into the weekend was Green Bay's offensive line. What are they going to do, right? So Billy Turner, he's been pretty versatile in regards to his position, what he's played in the offensive line. He's inactive today, so everybody's got the question, what's Green Bay going to do? We have 2 O-line injuries to our starters in this game today. Our left guard, Lucas Patrick, goes down. Normally, Elgton Jenkins plays left guard, but due to Turner being out today, they bumped him to right tackle to start. So Patrick goes down. They bump Elgton back to left guard. They bring in Rick Wagner, our big free agent offseason signee. He goes to right tackle, and then Lane Taylor, our right guard, goes down, and they think his injury is serious. They think he tore his ACL. He was a guy who had a great camp, and everybody was real excited about him going into this year, playing really well. So really sucks to see him go down. Our rookie out of Michigan, John Runyon Jr., our 5th-round pick, came in, stepped in, played pretty well, but that's definitely going to be, I guess, a cause for concern going forward is how Green Bay's offensive line health is going to be.
That's what I was going to ask Remy as well. Is before we move on to the next game. So your number one thing you're looking for going into next week is the health of the offensive line.
Definitely, I want to. It's a concern, and it's that's obviously going to be very impactful going forward.
And how about you, Remy? First, was there any notable injuries to the Vikings today? And second of all, what are you looking for the Vikings to either improve or what are you looking at going into next week here?
Yeah, I believe no notable injuries. Everyone stayed healthy, and I mean, we got the Colts next week, so obviously the corners getting a taste of a brutal beatdown. You got to learn from that. But I'm also looking for our offensive line to keep Kirk up, and Kirk's got to get rid of the ball a lot quicker too. So mainly the corners and the offensive line protecting Kirk, because when you have Cook as a running back, you can do a lot of special things.
And do you have still have faith in the Vikings going forward here?
Oh yeah, baby! Come on now.
All right, just
like
making
I said,
sure.
in 2015, like I said, we lost week
That's
1,
true.
but we went on to win the division. Skull to the bowl, Purple Rain in control.
Barney, what's your outside reaction to this week 1 performance by the Green Bay Packers?
I think the game went exactly how, I mean, I didn't know it was going to be a slugfest with points, but I just knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to have his way with a young secondary. And, it's just a big blow that Everson Griffin, Daniil Hunter couldn't strap it up today. So easy bet. It was an easy +3, I think it was. I don't think we'll have too many times this year where Green Bay is going to be +3, but hey, it was an entertaining game.
And let's not forget, people act like Minnesota got blown out. We lost by 9 points. That's 3 field goals. It's not like we lost 36-3. There were some positives.
Yeah, but it was kind of no, I'm looking. It was 43-26 and 43-24. They scored a late touchdown there.
The Packers defense definitely, I think, took a little snooze on the last couple drives there.
Yep. And the Packers did something, and I'm going to transition here just because
wait. I forgot. I did have to mention, you said injuries. I forgot Kenny Clark left the game in the second quarter today. I did forget about that.
That's a big blow. I forgot about that too.
What am I doing here? So, that's another cause of concern. You're talking about looking at next week. It's a groin injury. He's tweaked it, Our big nose tackle we just paid, so that's definitely another area to watch going forward.
When did he get injured, and did he return? Obviously, it doesn't sound like it did.
No, I think he left right before halftime. I want to say he was walking the tunnel with a couple minutes ago, and he didn't come back, tweaked his groin, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. And before we move on to the next game, Remy, there was some news on the Dalvin Cook front this weekend from the last time we recorded, right?
Yeah. So the day before Dalvin suits up for the first game of the season, him and his camp decided on 5 years, $63 million. So it secures 28 mil guarantee and roughly like 12.9 a year. So I'd say that's fairly cheap for what his production can be. In my opinion, he's right up there with McCaffrey, maybe, right under McCaffrey, but he's a focal point of that offense, and he's going to get reps. I mean, McCaffrey's basically a wide receiver, but he's up there, and I think that deal's very friendly, assuming he stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big assumption just with his injury history. So
he's only played 29 games.
Yeah, well, because he was injured. All right, so I think we're going to move on to the next game here. But, man, in this game, Green Bay had a 29-10 lead going into the fourth quarter. The Lions had a 23-6 lead, right?
Going 23-6.
Going into the fourth quarter in this one. And in typical Lions home opener fashion, they blow it. They blow it in the fourth quarter. If anybody was watching the game and they saw the stat, in the Matt Patricia tenure, they lead the NFL in blown fourth quarter leads, and this is just add it to the register. I mean, Barney, I guess you can recap it since you guys won. We'll going forward, we'll just have the winner recap the game. So go for it, Barney.
Sure.
I'll just I'll just turn off my headset for a little bit.
It really pains me that my squad had to beat yours, Zach. But I'll just get rolling in here. It's not personal or anything. It was a 23-6 comeback in the fourth quarter by yours truly, Mitch Trubisky. People are already shouting in the streets that he's the next coming of Joe Montana.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
No, but for real, for anybody that didn't watch the game, there was there was, for every side of the ball for both teams, it was pretty bad for the first three quarters. A blown opportunity before half to try to score allowed Detroit to get the ball back with, I don't know, not even amount.
51 seconds.
What was it?
51 seconds.
51 seconds, and Matt Stafford, Kenny Galladay or not, he's just a baller. So they went up a little bit, and it was, like I said, it was 23-6, and for as bad as the first three quarters were, the fourth quarter for the Bears was really, on both sides of the ball, was very impressive. Mitch Trubisky, with his back against the wall, just showed up, and that's all I could really ask for. I'm looking at the screen right now, and I'm seeing your face, and I just see how upset and crushed you are. But yeah, Mitch Trubisky came in, and he did exactly what we all thought he'd do, and not play really well, but deliver us a W in Detroit.
I'm not even upset. I'm upset. I should say I'm not crushed. It's become numb to me at this point. The way the Lions continue to find new ways to lose throughout the years. It's just like I just laugh now when it happens, and you half expect it. Like going to fourth quarter, like for instance, they missed that 55-yard field goal by Prater. Just those little things, you're like, it's coming apart, and every time so far in the Patricia era, it seems to come true. I mean, this is literally like last year when they were up 20 points against the Cardinals going into the fourth quarter. It's the same thing, like a quarterback playing complete shit, and then turns around the fourth quarter and looks like a Hall of Famer. It's ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't even matter if Patricia was if the NFL only played three quarters, Patricia might be a Hall of Fame coach at this rate. But unfortunately, they play four quarters in the NFL, and it's extremely frustrating. I hated his answer today. They asked him, like there seems to be a pattern of your team falling apart in the fourth quarter. Is there something you're doing in your coaching that you don't like, or that you need to change up? And he said, no, I called the greatest fourth quarter play in Super Bowl history, referencing the Patriots interception at the goal line against the Seahawks. which is a bullshit answer. That's a terrible answer. That's not what I want to hear from a head coach. He's not on the Patriots anymore. He's in Detroit. This happened like 5-6 years ago. I forgot the year that Super Bowl happened off the top of my head right now. But it's so frustrating because the team has the talents, and this play calling in the fourth quarter is like terrible. Like Anthony Miller, after the end of this game, talked about how they were confused by zone coverages that Detroit was running for 3 quarters. And then they said they switched to a man coverage scheme, which is what they ran all last year, to like it was a failure last year in the fourth quarter, and they did it again, the same thing. I don't get it. And I wish I did. I really do. Well, yeah, Kinger, you want to interject here?
Yeah, I know. I'm loving hearing you rant right now, Big Z. I can sense the frustration in your voice, and I can't wait to hear it again next week. But my question to you was, what do you think of the Jaime Collins ejection? Do you think it was warranted?
I mean, probably. I mean, it's hard to say. In slow mo, it looks like the ref like walks into his helmet. It's a bizarre, like, why is he even going and doing that in the first place? It's pretty stupid. It just it's another thing in the long line, long list. But I'm trying to be positive about my team here, but it's the same thing I've been watching the last 3 years, and it's extremely frustrating. But Barney, yeah, go.
Dude, I was watching it, and obviously, I'm not really concerned with Detroit's defense as I'm more concerned with our offense or lack thereof. But when one of your best players gets ejected like immediately, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. And then I watch guys like Trufant go down, and I'm like, oh, okay, we should start, getting things going. I mean, Flowers was out for quite a few plays.
Coleman.
I'll give credit to where it's due. I think you guys played pretty damn well with what you guys trotted out there, and who went down in injuries. But I just thought that was soft as hell. That I mean, I'm fine with him getting like a penalty, but like they gotta reform that. It shouldn't just be an automatic ejection. That was so stupid.
I mean, it was like it was nothing. Like if it'd be like someone, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Like the contact was like, wasn't harmful or anything like that. You're not supposed to make contact with the referee. That's the rule. Don't do it. So in real time, it looked but now after seeing replays of it, it kind of looks like the referee bumped into it, like he initiated the contact a little bit. But it doesn't really matter. Don't get close. I'm just telling you what's going on the Lions Twitter sphere. All right, I'm trying to inform y'all. But man, it doesn't matter. But I know we can get into individual things. But Barney, I just gotta tell you, all right. So I this has just been on my mind all day, and it just pisses. This is what I hate about being a Lions fan in Chicago is that you gotta listen to Bears fans all the time, but especially when the Lions are playing the Bears. I get texts for 3.5 hours straight. It's like 200 because I'm in like group text with Chicago fans all over, and I'm the only Lions fan. All these things, of course, but it's so hard for me to respect Bears fans when they shit on their quarterback for 3 quarters and then try to praise the guy after one great quarter. No faith in the quarterback, no faith in the team and coaching and ownership and all that stuff, and then it's all sunshine and rainbows after 15 minutes later. I just hate that. Bears fans are always been like this, especially with Mitch Trubisky. They don't give him any chance until and I know he's playing bad, but this is like a preseason game essentially, and he shared half the snaps this offseason with Nick Foles.
Twitter was an absolute dumpster fire for 3 quarters today, and then
I
all
agree,
of a sudden,
but I do not respect a majority of Bears fans. I respect Barney over here, but a majority of Bears fans, they are the most hypocritical fans I know. It is beyond belief. It is the absolute worst, and it's so hard to deal with them. Barney, you can speak for it, but I mean, like I said, I respect you, but a majority of Bears fans, it is very hypocritical.
I mean, you have valid points. I'm not going to speak for whoever's in your group chats or whatever. This is going on.
This is like Twitter and everything. That's just where
But here's that's the makeup of our team, right? I mean, we have been the same for like the last 50 years. A really, really good defense. no fucking quarterback and, just like a offense. So when you're saying like, oh, we're, dumpster fire, well, we didn't have like a Stafford for 12 years or an Aaron Rodgers and a Brett Favre to lean back on for 30 years. So, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying, and I'm not going to disagree with, what you're saying, because I get it. But dude, I mean, I'm okay with yelling at somebody too to pick up their fucking game. I mean, the first 3 quarters were brutal.
Oh yeah, they
were brutal.
I think,
and I don't care about being nice. I mean, root and stem, rip it out. I want to get some hunger out of these guys, and so thankfully he played. And he showed up in the fourth quarter, and when time you only get 3 drives in each quarter, and so. We were down 3 scores, and he scored enough to win, and that's a hard thing to do. And he did it in the fourth quarter, and I'm very happy he did. But he was fucking trash for the first 3 quarters.
Remy, you want to add something in there?
Barney, I think a lot of people just want to know: are you with Trubisky, or are Bears fans with Trubisky, or aren't they?
We are with whoever the hell is underneath that center, but they better fucking deliver, because we are going to be ruthless with our in-game real-time analysis on how they're doing at their job.
Kinger.
Barney, are you concerned at all about the defense? Almost 430 yards led up today versus the Lions was, what's your overall assessment after 1 week?
Dude, I mean, I didn't, like I said, both sides of the ball played awful. So I'm not trying to give anybody any breaks here. In my opinion, I still think they did really good in the fourth quarter to keep them at 23. But, I mean, DeAndre Swift missed a touchdown. I mean, so we easily should have lost that game. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that they played phenomenal in the fourth quarter, but they did enough. I suppose. It will be nice when we get Robert Quinn back. Because it was
no Leonard Floyd. Us. Yeah, no Leonard Floyd. He had a big sack tonight late in that Dallas game.
Yeah. But it stinks not having Eddie Goldman there, and I'm a believer in Bilal Powell, but a full game, like Bilal has never had to play, all the snaps and be there, and deliver like that. So, I'm not going to sit back and say that, and I'm not going to overreact. I mean, this is COVID, right? I mean, this is the worst off season, so for first game.
Yeah.
Had we even lost, I would have been a little bit more tolerant than I think I normally would have.
Barney,
because
there was one player that really stood out to me, Barney, in this game, and that was that surprised me how well he played. It was Jalen Johnson. I thought he played a really good game out there today. I was surprised actually how good he played.
I'll tell you, the one thing I can say is that I was very, very happy with all the rookies today. You mentioned Jalen Johnson. I think he played tremendous. He did get trucked. He got trucked by Marvin
Welcome
Jones.
to NFL type hit.
But sometimes you just need your bell rung a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on the other side of the ball, I think Darnell Mooney, who we grabbed in the 5th round, a small little speedster from Tulane. He had a couple grabs, timely catches. And then, Cole Kmet, he didn't really make the stat sheet. But there was one target to him, and it was like a point blank pass. But I thought he did really well. He was brought in packages to block as well. So, the rookies did really well. And that was one comforting thing I thought, from the Bears side today.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know I'm sounding upset here, but I'll tell you some positives about the Lions here. First of all, TJ Hawkinson really stepped up. That was nice to see for a change. He looks healthy. He looks ready to go and be a huge contributor this year. Quintez Cephas, our 5th-round rookie wide receiver, got targeted 10 times. He had 3 catches for 43 yards, but Matt Stafford was really looking at him today. surprisingly. Marvin Jones, one catch for 26 yards, and the other one got deflected up. Matt Stafford, bad decision. I don't know. He's trying to fit a like in double coverage there on the third down on the interception late in the game. I did
Big
not
Z.
like
Yeah, that was Jalen Johnson who got that flick there. So
I got a question for you, Big Z.
Yeah.
So how do you like Adrian Peterson?
I mean, so far, today he was great. He was great. 14 carries, 93 yards, and he was making like jump cuts with acceleration. I mean, he looked like...
And he was catching the ball. No more stone hands.
Yeah, he had 3 catches for 21 yards this game. How about that?
He was pissing me the fuck off. I'll tell you that much.
It was great to have a guy like that out there. The question, we've seen this with some veterans where they start off the season hot and then they get cold because the conditioning and just their bodies wearing down. So I'm curious if 35-year-old Adrian Peterson can keep this up throughout the season. But what we saw today was extremely encouraging, especially with our starting right tackle that was out playing backup. Tyrell Crosby was.
There has been rumors. AP does talk about and hints that he is in the same shape, if not better shape, than a lot of these 22 and 21-year-olds.
I wouldn't doubt that. Doesn't. I mean, the guy is just like, it's still ridiculously huge. And
who started in the backfield for Detroit today?
Kerryon Johnson got the first 2 carries, but it was Adrian Peterson's show. It was.
I think his run to Detroit is coming to an end.
Yeah, he did not look he does not look the same after he's had 2 major knee injuries. 7 carries, 14 yards. DeAndre Swift even looked better than him. DeAndre Swift. I don't want to hear the excuse that he's a rookie and that he made a rookie mistake. It's a drop. They keep trying.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know where you are in the field.
Dude,
and just catch it and fall like a baby.
I was laughing because like he was thinking about running after the catch, and the irony of the whole fucking thing was he was already in the end zone.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. Matt Stafford in this game, I thought he played he got off to a rough start as well. It was really sloppy this game in the first quarter and a half, and the Lions picked it up a little bit at the end of the first half and the third quarter a little bit. But Stafford still looked great and showed why is so important to this team because he just fits the ball where no one else can. Those are some of the positives, and the defense was rushing 4 guys for a change, which is like what we begged for. And then, of course, in the third quarter, they started rushing 3 guys going man-to-man, just mind blown. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And the conservative play calling, 2 runs on the last drive before the Bears scored the go-ahead one. The Lions, they needed to take this tick-down clock, get first down. But it was run, and then pass. Like the most predictable, no play action, no nothing. This conservative play calling is just absolutely ridiculous. It's what we saw last year. It's the same thing. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I told you what Matt Patricia said, and it's frustrating. But I'm going to be positive that, it's 1 loss. There's 15 more games to go. We have 5 more divisional games. We'll get the Bears again in early December in Chicago. I wonder if there'll be fans there by then. But man, it's a heartbreaker. But I'll just leave it at that. Barney, you can have the last word. It's your game. It's your day.
And the last word, kind of piggybacking off Trubisky's performance today. That fourth quarter, for all the woes that he had all game, for that fourth quarter, he was a baller. And that ball that he dropped for Anthony Miller in the end zone,
beautiful.
That was a perfect ball.
It was a good throw.
And so I'm just gonna say, I'm happy to get the W. I expected, especially with the injury report and Akeem Hicks going up against your guys' rookie guard.
Mm-hmm.
I just expected a better outcome. But I'll take it. A W is a W.
Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, Barney. There's just injuries. Justin Coleman, hamstring. Trufant, hamstring. Kenny Galladay was out with a hamstring injury. The Lions need to start doing hamstring stretches. I don't know. They must not be doing them because everybody on the team is getting hurt with hamstring injuries. It's ridiculous. It's not just them. It's throughout the NFL, soft tissue injuries. But I don't know if that's what preseason or what the deal is, or no off season in the training facilities. I don't know, but that's the injury update. And I know you've mentioned your injuries throughout the conversation there.
Yeah, nothing too serious from today's game, which is nice.
Yeah, that is really nice. So the Bears are at home against the Giants next week. Barney, the Lions are going to Green Bay. And then Remy, who do the Vikings got next week?
We got the Colts in Indianapolis.
All right, and the Colts just lost the Jaguars today, breaking a lot of hearts of Survivor Pool people everywhere. I'm in a Survivor Pool. I think half of them picked the Colts today to beat the Jaguars, so that was nice. I didn't pick it, but, it was nice.
Gardner Minshew has some insane numbers against the Colts right now. I think he's completed like 90+% of his passes, something insane like that.
Oh, yeah, and that wasn't the only one. The Redskins being the Eagles, that was kind of wild.
No, we don't say the R word anymore, Zach, remember.
Oh, shit. Yeah, my bad. Washington football team beat the Eagles. Arizona being the 49ers. Tom Brady, 2 interceptions. Maybe Jameis Winston was on this. Maybe it's just something in the air in Tampa Bay. I don't know, and interceptions. And your Carolina, they did not cover. They did not cover.
Almost. It was a fun game though. It was actually one of the better. It was one of the better games today actually.
Yeah, so you might have been on to something more than I originally thought with Carolina.
Remy, you still think they're going to take the division?
Let's wait and see.
let me ask. I want to get this out there. Talking about our preseason predictions, Big Z and Barney. I want to ask you guys. I want to give you a chance right now to rescind your 11-5 predictions from your teams respectively. I'm going to give you this opportunity right now. After watching today's performance, has anything changed?
No,
dude, we got a W. We got one game closer. We got 10 more to get.
Gonna go 11-4 the rest of the way.
Okay, all right. I'm just throwing that out there. I think it's time to pay Mitch already, Barney. If you ask me, that fourth quarter showed he's elite. He is elite. Throw him in that conversation.
Dude, I'm just saying. I mean, it's kind of hard to hear you guys right now. I got my noise cancelings on, but right outside my window is just parades of Chicagoans.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all right. I try to give you guys an opportunity. We'll reflect on those predictions at the end of the year.
How about you, Remy? Sticking with your prediction still?
Yeah, Minnesota's gonna go 9-7 probably.
Oh, already.
Dude, it sounds like somebody honest. Killed your dog, man.
Dude, this is the worst. Like I said, I usually go to like 4 to 5 Viking games a year, and I would trade it all if I could just go to the Packer Viking game. I go to the Packer Viking game every year. That's the one game I would just give it all up for, because that is my favorite game of the year is Packer Viking in Minnesota. And it's to start it off.
Hey, there's another one next year.
Exactly.
We'll just have to beat you in Lambeau to even it out.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. And the producer Kid J, congrats on your Rams with the win. So
absolutely, the new Rams unis are slick, man.
Those Rams uniforms are terrible. They're
awful.
They're awful.
They're not that bad in person.
Awful.
No, those helmets are awesome, man.
The helmet's fine, but it looks like someone put a highlighter on the uniform.
I didn't mind them.
It looks like somebody forgot to wash those jerseys on after the last game of the season last year, and they're just like a kind of a dirty white.
See, my thing was like they made it white, and they're like
jerseys.
My thing was like they made a white jersey, and they're like they forgot to like put a second color on there, so someone in the like equipment room really quick took a highlighter and started making marks on all the jerseys.
All the prototypes looked like trash, but then out there when I was watching, like it was worse. I didn't think it was that bad. I got your back, Jay.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us here on the Pylon. There's a lot to discuss, and man, yeah, just a wild Sunday. Good for some, not good for others. But thank you everybody for listening. I really appreciate it. Please share. Please subscribe to this podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, the Pylon. Post a lot of stuff on there. And thanks to Barney for helping out with that, especially. And then, that's it. We'll have another podcast for you later in this week, previewing the upcoming games. And, we just mentioned them. So we'll have a lot coming for you this season. We're week 1 in, and there's a lot of fun ahead of us. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it. For Kinger, Barney, Remy, and Big Z, and producer Kid J over there. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you later this week.
Bear down.